Hey, good evening, everyone. This is my video watch list for May 15th. First on the watch list for tomorrow morning. This is going to be my main watch so far, depending on what happens come the market open and see what's gapping up. But it is WKHS. Had a former run up on some pretty good news. Had a sell off. It was a breakout. It has held that 250 level perfectly and bounced. So I definitely like this play for a continuation. Be watching for a red to green and then continue up. It seems to have quite a bit of good movement during the day, 30 to 40 cents plus. So off of a fairly low price stock, you can definitely make some good money on it. Next on the list, the rest of these are in not exactly any particular order. CGI, it's not exactly my favorite chart to play, but it looks like it wants to squeeze here. You can see on the trend lines. The only thing I don't like about this stock is the way it moves. It is a really slow mover. It looks like a snoozer, but it does, if you kind of go back here, once you kind of get over breakout levels, it does seem to move a little quicker. So I'm looking for that 230 break and then ultimately the 250 range break. 256 is the magic number, and then a nice gap fill. So there's quite a bit of gap fill there. We got what do we got here? We got roughly $1.70 to go on that gap fill. And it looks like it wants to get up there. How long it'll take, I don't know, but it's got to get over the 9 moving average, which is roughly the 230 range. So once it kind of breaks that, it should be good. I was going to keep this BEBE on the list. It doesn't get a lot of volume, so I don't know. It's going to kind of be a back burner stock. But it is on breakout here. It just kind of broke that level and held it, the 564 range. So now it needs to break the 6 area for me to be really interested. And there's not too much more left in the tank on this one as far as the fill for the big dump in March. So there's only about 45 cents left in the tank. So we'll kind of see about that. It's, like I said, it's pretty low volume, so it'll be on a back burner. RNN, which was a play off of my watch list on Friday that did really, really well, a recent reverse split that you can see here. It seems to be holding some pretty key levels, so I'll be looking for a continuation. But you never know with these. It might just end up selling off and kind of going back to where it came from. So we'll see what happens. Again, kind of just going to be on a watch. GBR, this is back burner. This is complete back burner. Looking for some news on it. Anytime there's a press release issued, it definitely likes to pop. You can see every pop that it's got. It usually sells off, but it'd be more of a pre-market watch to play pre-market or after hours, depending on the news. They like to release the press releases during the early hours of the morning, and that's about all you're going to get is that run up pre-market and then a sell-off. So definitely be careful with that. But like I said, just complete back burner. EMMS, it's held the $3 support as well as some technical support here as well. I'd like to see this sell off a little bit more and get into this area for a bounce, the 280s more so for a bounce. But we'll see. It's holding the $3 range. The 9 EMA, let's see here, that's at 297. So come tomorrow, it'll be in the $3 range. So it'll be bouncing off the 9 EMA if it does take a bounce, and then hopefully a continuation higher. Could get a nice continuation at $3.50, $4 within the next couple of days. So might be definitely worth a watch. A lot of these are just kind of back burner watches, except for WKHS. NAK had a big sell-off there yesterday. It was I'm sure it was on a lot of people's radar for a short. It moved up pre-market and just kind of chopped along until it broke this 250 support and then sold off all day. The only reason why I'm looking at it here is because it's kind of held this this breakout level. So it got, when it broke it, it kind of got bought back up and then is holding this support. So we'll see what happens. Again, kind of back burner. We'll see. But that's about it for the watch list. Oh no, sorry, I got a couple more hiding up here. XTNT, that was a top gainer on Friday. We'll see what happens. It's got to get over this 55 area, so we'll be watching for a continuation, hopefully a red to green. The 50 SMA is pretty much right where it's at. It's got a couple more cents, so hopefully it's got to break that 56 area. Like I was saying for this here, if it breaks that, we can get a nice continuation. And if you look left, it does like to move quite a bit. So you might be able to hold it for a couple days, but I'd be pretty wary of holding these really cheap stocks. You never know what's going to happen. GSAT, which was a definitely a big play on everyone's watch there on Friday. It's up on rumors of a takeover. It's kind of a 50-50 gamble whether or not to hold this over the weekend or not. You know, you could get someone saying that the buyout rumors were complete bullshit and get a big gap down. But even if not, it's still a nice breakout. It's on multi-month breakout. It's still looking pretty good. It's holding around VWAP, so it's got to hold this kind of 230 area. Look for a continuation, but if it gets bought out, it's definitely going to have a nice big gap up there and probably could continue to run. We'll see. FNJN, this was a top gainer, or a top gapper, I should say, and then it kind of sold off, but it did reclaim. It bounced off the opening price, or sorry, the day before its close, and then kind of continued to go up. It reclaimed VWAP, which is definitely a strong sign. So definitely be a watch. It's on breakout as well, so definitely worth keeping an eye on. What kind of highs do we got here? It looks like it's 52-week highs. Yeah, well over. It's on 2-year highs. So it's definitely worth a watch to look for a continuation. But yeah, that's all I got. But definitely keep an eye on WKHS. I definitely like that play for tomorrow morning. Okay, thanks guys. Good night.